I'm going to pull the questions from there first. And then, if there's any other questions, drop them in the chat. Ariel Draco, if you're there, if you can whisper me the questions as they come in, if they come in at all, then that'll be great. But we'll start with the Discord questions first. And before we get into it, I want to catch up with you guys. How you guys week been? That wasn't even a full statement. How have your guys' week been? Guys, can I double plural that? Is that a thing? Poor grammar already. Oh my goodness, my word. I already see YouTube stuttering. I may have to close it out. K-Bob, what's going on? What's going on? Actually, you know what? Let me fix that title too. I just forgot to add AMA on that. Oh, I had it changed. What the hell? Real talk. ... AMA. Bam. Update that ish. Oh man, week has taken forever, dude. Man, this week was just as nuts as last week for me. Oh man, Deadeye, what's going on? Deadeye, thank you, dude. You were waiting in here before I even started streaming, so thank you. And thank you to everybody that was super patient. Tuesday, we were supposed to do this AMA, and it just didn't happen. I had what's called a moment, and I have these every so often where I just need to, like, declutter everything around me, and it's a thing. I don't know what it is. If you look at the zodiac, it's a Sagittarius thing, which I'm a Sagittarius, so it's like every so often they just feel like they need to, not that I believe in the zodiac, but some of the stuff in there is pretty accurate for my personality, where like they just feel like a need to have sudden change out of nowhere. And that's what happened on Tuesday. I was just like, I need to like just fix all this and get this right. So now I got a new setup. I posted it up on the Discord, and like I think I got it almost to where I want it to be. I ordered a smaller monitor, this games monitor that I've been looking at for like years now, and I just decided to bite the bullet and do it. And like, you know what, it's gonna be worth it anyway in the long run. But how the hell is everyone else doing? We got K-Bob up in here. K-Bob, what's going on? Oh man. Not you guys. You got to say y'all. There we go. There we go. Oh, man. Zero, thank you for the host, dude. This is weird not having any background music or even having my headphones on to talk to you guys. Ryan, what is going on, dude? We were talking right before we got started here. Awesome. All right, here we go. We're gonna get started with the questions again. For anybody, the one person watching on YouTube, if you have any questions, please fire them away. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube, if you like what you see here tonight, make sure you give it a like. And here we go. AMA time. Let's go. Where is my AMA tab? There we go. So I'm just going to go in order as the questions that I got first on Discord. But let's see. I think the first one here is from Deadeye. So this is a question from when you started. How long of a time span did you realize you only wanted to do Nintendo games? So this was an on and off inner conflict that I had with myself over the last probably 3 months. I think when Pokemon Sun finally came out and we started doing the giveaways for that and really going heavy into Pokemon once I got my 3DS back, I think that was sort of where the decision in my head started to churn. I was like, you know what? The last 6 months before all that happened, I ended up playing mostly 3DS titles anyway. You look at anything in my library of 2015 outside of January, February, and March, and it's all 3DS titles for the most part. I was playing Box Boy. I was playing I did a little bit of Dementium. I did a little bit of Hyrule Warriors Legends. We did like every Fire Emblem Fates game, minus half of Conquest, which is forever lost now. Rest in peace, Conquest. A moment of silence for that. We did Kirby. There was so much on there, and it was just like, growing up, Nintendo was my console. Granted, I was 4 years old and I had a Sega Genesis as my first personal console, but my brother growing up, he had the Nintendo consoles. He had Nintendo, he had Super Nintendo, but we played them all anyway. Like, we were always not set on one console. Like, we did play other things. We played arcade games also. There was a pizzeria where there there was Samurai Showdown on there. There was like a Neo Geo machine. It had Metal Slug. It had Samurai Showdown on there. It had like two other games on there. So we would go there. Like, we'd play a bunch of different stuff. So, but I would always go back to Nintendo. I mean, even handheld stuff specifically, a lot of my gaming life has been spent on a handheld, starting from Game Boy, going to Game Boy Pocket, Color, GBA, DS, 3DS. I think the least amount of time I've spent on a handheld console was during the DS era, where everybody and their mom had a DS. It was insane. It had the most games on there. But yeah, Sonic Master, what's going on? But yeah, I think at around November was when I really started to think about it, and I was like, you know what? We were playing a lot of Resident Evil games, because Resident Evil is another franchise that is like that I love that franchise. So I think, going forward, we'll still go back to Resident Evil every so often, but and then like a few other things here and there, but for the most part, going forward, like, I made the decision after Resident Evil 7, really, I was like, okay, without saying it at first, going full on Nintendo. I mean, it's most of the stuff that I play anyway, so it just makes sense. It makes sense from me. It makes sense for, especially where there's other awesome people around that are streaming that I know that are playing the other games. I'm like, you know what? There's all these awesome streamers that do it way better than I do, and there's all these other content creators that do it way better than I do. Let me just focus on something that I can do well, and I feel like Nintendo games is up my alley, so I'm gonna stick with that and see where it goes from there. But that's the long answer to that question. I hope that answers it. I actually fixed the Game Boy Advance SP. Nice. Did you add like Oh no, the SP had LED screens. There's awesome, like, Ryan, there's awesome mods that you can do with the original Game Boy Advance. I never had an SP. I always had my Glacier one. The launch day. I had it launch day. I will forever remember that day. I bought Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 from Toys R Us with my Game Boy Advance, and I had that thing up until, how long have I been here? 3 years now, I want to say. 4 years. I think 4 years. So 4 years ago, when I moved from Astoria, Queens to the Bronx, I lost my Game Boy Advance in that move. I don't know. That and Pokemon Red. My Pokemon Red cartridge. The only Game Boy cartridge that I have that not the only Game Boy cartridge that I have, but the only one out of the batch of Game Boy cartridges and Game Boy Advance cartridges that I still have. That was the one thing that went missing in the move between that and my Game Boy Advance. So those are two items forever lost, which really sucks, because now I can't play any of my Game Boy Advance or Game Boy games, which the Advance did both of those. So, oh well, rip. What are you gonna do? Emulation. All right. So we got one down. One question down. Yeah. Game Cave, thank you for the host. Zomber, thank you for the host. True Pretty Tony, Zero, Ruby Ash, Zomber. I think I said Zomber, but I love y'all. Thank you for the hosting. Let me catch up here. What you guys up to? Sonic Master, pew pew pews. Oh man. Stress levels, what's up? I know what drives me crazy. Joe, Nintendo Switch hardware is hardest to fix. Well, it's new, right? So I mean, it's gonna take time. People are apparently already hacking the thing to get to the web browser, which is crazy. I was watching one of Edika's videos like a week after the Switch came out. I was like, damn, these guys are ruthless already. Insane. All right, so moving on to the next question. Zombie Hunter, Zomber, shout out again. He asks, "What made you start streaming?" Interaction for me. I feel like that's where I thrive best, is talking to you guys and like having a good time playing the games while you guys are here, chatting it up, just overall having a good time. And it just goes back to like basic couch co-op, playing games with your friends, and or just playing a game while your friends are watching and like showing them like this awesome moment, or like just beating up dudes in like Streets of Rage 2 back in the day. Like that was one of my favorite beat 'em up games. Still is. Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game, might be a close second now. But it's really interaction with you guys and just straight up enjoying playing games. I mean, for a year and a half, minus the one stint here on Twitch early on in 2015 where I did State of Decay on here. I would always upload my first playlist I ever did was Resident Evil PS4 when it came out that January. That was my first playthrough for that channel, and I was dead set on like, just being a content creator on YouTube. Like YouTube Gaming came out like 6 months later, I believe, in 2015. It was like summer of 2015, I think it started the beta for it. And it was just really, I once I started dabbling a little bit in the YouTube stream, I was like, well, Twitch seems a little more user friendly, so let me try that out. And then, if that doesn't work, I can at least have the chops to go back onto YouTube Gaming and try to figure it out from there. But my home was always YouTube, still is YouTube. I mean, a bulk of the content that you guys see now are from Twitch live streams, but we're trying to get, YouTube back into the mix as well as far as the gaming goes. But now YouTube's all just me talking on the camera like this right now. So this is weird doing it live. Doing it live! But if to add on to that question, I'll tell you guys the story of how I started on YouTube as well. So we're gonna go on for a ride. We're gonna go back in a time machine. We're gonna go back to 2009. Joe was, how old was I? 2009. That was 8 years ago. Jeez, I was 20. Was I 20? 20 or 21 at that point. Jeez. Oh my God, that's disgusting. I feel old. I know 28's not old. I'm turning 29 this year. So around that time, I started up my first YouTube channel, and that was just for my music and stuff. I was very much into music. I went to college to go to be an audio engineer, to learn production, to learn behind the scenes stuff, because that's always been me. I've not been an in front of the camera person, no pun intended. But and it's funny that I'm saying that now, speaking in front of a camera, but it was yay, story time. Exactly. What is YouTube? Huh? What is YouTube? What's that YouTube? But anyway, so yeah, I started up a music channel on YouTube. It's still there. It still exists if you could find it. Some of you guys know. I started a solo project after I had broken away from a band slash early firing, sort of, I guess you could say, from the band. But for the most part, it was me wanting to leave to kind of focus on my own music. And I was like, all right, well, there's people like Mystery Guitar Man and Megan Tojanis, I think was her name. I forget how to spell her, say her last name, and I totally butchered it. But there's really awesome people on YouTube is basically what I was getting down to. And I was like, you know what? Let me at least put music there. This was like before, I think this was even before SoundCloud. SoundCloud might have just been starting up around that time, or been around for like a year or two. But I figured, doing covers and getting my own bits of music out there was a cool idea. So I was like, all right, let me do that. I spent I took a week off of work and recorded EP from my bedroom and had that all mixed and mastered because I knew all that stuff from college. So I decided to do it on my own and use the tools that I learned and had the software already. So thank you, student discounts, for that. And I just kept uploading, and then like doing silly things here and there. And then it kind of just stopped because life happened and work. So fast forward to 2015 January, where pretty much was not doing anything creative between 2011 and 2015, just before 2015. And 2015, I come down with a crazy flu. I've never had the flu in my life. I woke up with like a stupid headache, stomach pains, feeling like I was gonna vomit. This is like having the flu is the worst thing in the world. It's terrible, and I'm gonna try to rush the story. Sorry, I know I babble along a lot, but I had this flu, and you guys know already. I'm a huge fan of the Kinda Funny guys. I'm a huge fan of like Podcast Beyond and Xbox Unlocked, Podcast Unlocked, sorry, and the Nintendo Voice Chat, of course. Shout out to Jose Otero. But specifically Podcast Beyond, that year that I've been listening to them since about 2011, 2012 is when I caught on to them. I was getting really heavy into podcasts, and January 5th, I think it was, I was when I was sick and I was in bed, and then I like had the strength enough to like open my eyes a little bit without the light hurting me from my phone to open up my Twitter, and they had a post saying we quit our jobs, and I was like, wait, what? From Greg Miller and Colin Moriarty, and then Tim Geddes and Nick Scarpino also posted stuff. But at the time, I just had Colin and Greg on Twitter. I was like, "What? What the hell?" And sorry if I cursed. I didn't mean to do that. I don't normally curse, but you got super chill mode Joe tonight. And I'm like, "Wait, this has got to be fake. No, this can't be right." So that's when they announced that a few months before that they announced for their Patreon and Kinda Funny, and then they went full on doing Kinda Funny games on their Patreon, and then it was like, yeah, we quit our jobs, this is it, this is our lives. Like, whoa, that is insane. Wait, back up, how the hell did this happen? And they did like I don't know, I can't remember if it was a 24-hour live stream the next day or it was a live stream that day. But I remember there being a live stream while I was sick. It might have just been the next day, and they started doing like all their shows that they normally do for YouTube, and talking about like, you know, they talked about like, you know, what it was being at IGN, where they were all at that moment, and they were all, each individual person was at the highest that they can get that company, and there was no more room for them to grow. So really, what was next for each of them? And they joked around talking about like, you know, how much would they need to make in order to, you know, quit their jobs and everything. And they talked about this for months and months and months and months and months. And then they decided to just finally do it, see what happens. You know, if they fail, they can always go back there. It's not the end of the world. Like, they've each been there for so long that, you know, I'm sure that IGN would have gladly accepted them back, especially with the popularity that they all bring, minus Tim and Nick, because they're more behind the scenes dudes at IGN. Tim had like videos here and there, but and then Scarpino was always on Up at Noon and whatnot, which was hysterical, but they were more production. And seeing this is what happens, I babble on and I lose track of what I was trying to say. So if oh my goodness, lost my train of thoughts. That's what I was gonna say. Was, you know what, they can stay at the job where they have security, and I'll get to that in a second, or they can veer off and see what they can do on their own. with the support of their fan base that they have from beyond, and new people that only know them as Kind of Funny. And so they launched their second Patreon, and I think they made like 10, 15,000 right off that first day, which was insane. And they get paid every month from Patreon based on people who. So it's almost like them creating a subscription service, sort of, where you get certain things like a week before the content comes out for everyone else and all that stuff, and they have like all these different tiers and whatnot. But I thought that was really cool, and that was really ballsy of them to just like go and give up everything that is secure, to just do what you love and do what you want to do. And I thought that like struck home for me, because I had been following these guys for a few years now already, and I'm like, whoa, they're really going out and just doing what they want to do on their own terms, talking about what they want to talk, creating the content that they want to do, and just overall just being creative without any limits. And that was what I've been missing for a few years, just not doing music. Not I played games and whatnot to kind of like just relieve myself here and there, but I wanted to do something else. Like, I love my job, but I still need that creative outlet. And that was the moment that I decided, okay, I'm gonna start it up, see what the hell happens, and just go from there. Do what I want to do, play what I want to play, talk what I want to talk about. And that's exactly what I did. I started up a podcast with my buddy. There was 3 of us at one point, then 2, and then just me. We did a couple. We had 2 shows. We did what used to be called the JoAfterWork show, and I've changed up the format drastically, as you can see. And then we had a podcast called Break Time Podcast, and we did video format. We were on iTunes. Some of the episodes are still up there if you find it. And the videos, they're all still on YouTube. I still keep those up just because, it's a nice reminder of where I started and how far we've come along from there. I mean, dude, freaking 688 in the last 2 years. That's crazy. I mean, I know some people will grow fast super quick. Some people take a long time, and some people never grow. And I'm just thankful that I've had constant support from you guys, which has been awesome. And I'm veering off again. I know I'm going to get back on track in a second, but it all stems from being inspired by those guys at Kind of Funny. Just kind of giving me the motivation or the inspiration, not so much motivation, because once I get going, I don't stop. Like, I don't know what a stop button is. I run myself to the ground every day. It is not a sob story or anything. I love doing what I do. So when I do it and I'm focused, and I have a goal in mind, I just keep on going. That's why I'm up until like 2 a.m. every day. It's not a joke. Up at 2 a.m. Up until 2 a.m. and then I have to wake up at 6:30 for work. So it's like I do real work, and then I do my after work stuff, which doesn't really ever feel like work to me. So screw it. If you're enjoying and doing what you love, you keep on going. So that's sort of my double answer for Zomber's question about what made you start streaming, and then I added on why I started YouTube. Hunter, what is going on, dude? Oh, man. Jumping in right now. How's the streams looking for both? Wow. YouTube is actually surprising. Gamesman, what's going on, dude? Oh, man. I'm surprised YouTube is holding up. All right, we're going to jump into the next question. I want to thank you guys for jumping in on tonight's Afterwork AMA. Again, this was all because of you guys. We set up a community goal, and we hit the goal of 5,000 points. You guys put in the points, and here we are doing an AMA. All right, so let's see. Let's scroll down. Alec had a different question because he sort of asked the same one. What made me switch? Okay, so Alec, Har har har. You guys know him. He played a lot of Fire Emblem Fates early on in his streams when he was first getting started. So shout out to Alec, sorry. Where's Barry? Where's Barry Raid? Probably only me. Barry, what the hell is going on, dude? How are you doing? Oh man. I wish I had that copyright music playlist going on in the background. It's so drab with just my voice. Barry, dude, thank you so much for jumping in, though. I know you were streaming earlier. Hashtag Barry Raid. Your boy Barry sent us. Yo, what's going on, guys? You probably picked the most boring stream ever. I'm just talking about me and questions. It's an AMA, so if you guys have questions, feel free to drop them in. I'm going through all the Discord ones, and then from there I'll go into the chat box ones. So you guys keep dropping in questions. I will get to them. I promise. We will answer every question because I don't expect to get a lot more questions after this. Barry Buffer. I like it. Oh gosh, yeah, the buffer is real on YouTube, guys. Zombs take over. Goldheart, what is going on? How bad is the stream on YouTube right now? How bad is it? You can... I would love to know how crappy it is, because I see yellow, but I still see it going, but then I see it buffer. Oh man, we're dual streaming right now on Twitch and YouTube. My upload speed went to complete crap right as I was getting on. That's the usual case. Don't know why. It's almost like Optimum Online is watching me. So Optimum, if you're watching me, I'm watching you too, alright? Alright? Let's do this. I'm ready. I'm ready for war. I'm going to war with Optimum, damn it. Barry sent us. Barry, dude, thank you for the love, man. Thank you guys. Oh man. Yo, everyone is jumping in right now. Yo, it's a YouTube Twitch party right now. Straight up. Now tell me, are you really gonna love me forever? Wah, wah, wah. Oh my god, I thought it was my interwebs. Nah, dude, that is straight up me. Nah. It is all me. Alright. Here we go. We're going to continue with the questions. Right now, like I was saying before, going to do the Discord questions. Then if you guys have any other questions, just drop them in the chat, and I will go through those next. Much love to you all in the chat. Gonna hop on Twitch. Will not know me as then you will not know me as Super Gaming HD on Twitch. It's all good, dude. Guys, the fact that you just dropped in and said hi, and thanks to Barry for that. Like, seriously, thank you guys. Oh, Barry in there. Raid fail. Nah, that's on my fault. It's totally my fault. Maybe someday when we... Twitch raid! Everyone's jumping across! Can't take the YouTube buffering every 5 seconds. Jesus Christ. Alright, so you know what? If that's the case, let me rip the YouTube chat. A moment of silence for YouTube. YouTube, you were nice to me for 2 seconds. For 27 minutes and 40 seconds. Oh, it's green now.